Hello, welcome to my author study PowerPoint presentation on Leo Lionni. My name is Mitzi Woodfin. Leo Lionni was born in the Netherlands on May 5, 1910. His father was an accountant and his mother was an opera singer. They moved to Italy when he was in his teens. He married Nora Maffei and they had sons Louis and Paolo. He was educated in Holland, Belgium, the United States, Italy, and Switzerland. He earned his Ph.D. in economics from the University of Genoa. He spoke 5 languages: German, Dutch, English, French, and Italian. He had a splendid career. He was a painter in Italy. He moved to the United States in 1939, where he became an art director for various advertising agencies and also for Fortune magazine. He published his first children's book, Little Blue and Little Yellow, in 1959. He moved back to Italy in 1960, where he began his children's book career, and he wrote over 40 children's books. Here's a fun fact. Leo Lionni drew pictures when he told stories to his grandchildren. Once he had no pen or paper on a train ride, so he tore yellow and blue circles from a magazine to illustrate his story for his grandchildren. This inspired his first children's book, Little Blue and Little Yellow. It was written about colors who were friends, and they turned green, and their parents didn't recognize them. But then they were back to normal, and it's just a very sweet story about being friends. But because of that experience, collage became his signature technique for illustrating children's books. So many of Leo Lioni's children's books had paper for their illustrations, collage. 4 of Leo Lioni's books were given the Caldecott Honor Award. Inch by Inch was the first one. Inch by Inch is about an inchworm who measured parts of birds to escape from being eaten. Swimmy was the hero in his book, and he helped the red fish all swim together like they were a big fish to avoid being eaten. Frederick was his third Caldecott book, and he was a field mouse. His family was a little annoyed with him because he was not gathering food before winter. But his supplies were sun rays, colors, and words. So when winter came, his family appreciated his supplies because it warmed their hearts to have his sun rays and colors and sweet words. His fourth Caldecott Honor book was Alexander and the Wind-Up Mouse. Alexander was a real mouse, and at first he wanted to be like Willie, who was a toy mouse, but the toy mouse was loved and cuddled and allowed to sleep in the bed, but Alexander was a real mouse, so he was chased away and feared. He met a lizard who could change him into a wind-up mouse, but he realized just in the nick of time that Willie the wind-up mouse was going to be thrown away. So instead, he used his purple pebble for the lizard to change Willie into a real mouse instead, and so he earned a friend. Nicholas, Where Have You Been? Won the Jane Addams Children's Book Award. Nicholas was a mouse who liked red sweet berries, but the birds would take them away. One day he was picked up by a bird and landed in a nest of baby birds. Nicholas became friends with the family of birds, and when he returned home to his mouse friends, the birds brought them sweet berries. So that was a very nice ending. Frederick's Fables is an anthology. You would think that Frederick's Fables was all about Frederick, but it was not. It was simply an anthology of Leo Lioni's most popular books. Leo Lionni won the Caldecott Honor Medal in 1961, 1964, 1968, and 1970. He was inducted into the Art Directors Hall of Fame in 1974. He won the George G. Stone Center for Children's Books Award because of his body of work. In 1984, he was given the American Institute of Graphic Arts Gold Medal. And in 1988, he received the Jane Addams Children's Book Award. This is a list of over 40 books written by Leo Lionni. Many of Leo Lioni's children's books had collage illustrations with the torn paper or cut paper into different shapes to make the illustrations. Also, Leo Lionni liked to use animals for his characters. He used animal characters to teach a human lesson, and I find that sweet. I would like to read to you a poem from Frederick. So this is Frederick the Mouse talking, and then I will close. Who scatters snowflakes? Who melts the ice? Who spoils the weather? Who makes it nice? Who grows the four-leaf clovers in June? Who dims the daylight? Who lights the moon? 4 little field mice who live in the sky. 4 little field mice like you and I. One is the spring mouse who turns on the showers. Then comes the summer who paints in the flowers. The fall mouse is next with walnuts and wheat, and winter is last with little cold feet. Aren't we lucky the seasons are 4? Think of a year with one less or one more. When Frederick had finished, they all applauded. But Frederick, they said, you are a poet. Frederick blushed, took a bow, and said shyly, I know it. Thank you.